All of you welcome to the Desai Academy. Next chapter is chapter number 3. Chapter number 3, metals and non-metals. So you already know about the elements. So elements are classified into three types, correct. One is the metals, non-metals and semi-metals. So basically in this chapter we mainly discussing about the two types only. One is the metals and non-metals. We already studied in the 9th standard. So in class 9th you have already learnt about various elements. You have seen that elements as classified as metal or non-metals on the basis of their properties. So elements are classified as the two types. One is the metal and another one is called as the non-metal. So examples of metals may be iron, copper. So iron, copper, calcium, sodium, nickel, cobalt. These are called as the examples of what metals. What are the examples of metal? Means carbon, nitrogen, chlorine, fluorine. So these are called as the non-metal oxides. These are called as the non-metals. Iron, copper, silver, gold, mercury are called as the metals. Carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, chlorine, fluorine, neon. These are called as the non-metals. You already studied in the 9th standard. Think some uses of metals and non-metals in our daily life. So we are using different kinds of metals in our daily life like iron, copper, aluminium and silver also, gold also, and non-metals. Oxygen is taking for respiration and carbon dioxide is living from the body. These are the some non-metals. So what properties did you think while categorizing elements, metals or non-metals? So we are classified as the metals and non-metals, but on what basis we are saying that the metals and non-metals? That we have to conclude here. How are these properties related to uses of these elements, and how these properties are related to the uses of these elements? Let us look at some of these properties in detail. Now in this chapter we describing their physical property as well as the chemical properties in detail. So first comes here physical properties. First, physical properties of the metals. Physical properties of metals. The easiest way to start grouping a substance is by comparing their physical properties. So we are classifying the elements, means it is easy to start comparing the elements with their physical properties. Let us study this with the help of the following activities. For performing activity 3.1 to 3.6, correct the samples of following metals. So we already said that it is easy to study the elements as metals or non-metals by their physical property. We are performing some series of activity to get the knowledge of or get the information of elements. So metals, elements as metals. So what we have taken, we have to take some collections of metals like iron, copper, aluminium, magnesium, sodium, lead, zinc and any other metals in these available. So these are some kinds of element as metals we have taken and we are studying these physical properties. We have available of other we have available other than these elements, means we can also take and study with them. So next, first activity in this chapter, that is the activity 3.1. Activity 3.1. Take a samples of iron, copper, aluminium and magnesium. Note the appearance of each sample, and what we have I mentioned above elements, you have to take above all elements and note down their surface of that elements like iron, copper, aluminium, magnesium. You have to note there, you have to observe the surface of that elements and clean the surface of each sample by rubbing them with a sandpaper and note their appearance again. First you have to take all type of elements and observe their surface, and after the cleaning with sandpaper, cleaning with the sandpaper all metals, again re-observe that what is the surface of the elements before rubbing the sandpaper and after the rubbing the sandpaper. There is a difference in that property of that elements. So that property is called as the luster property. Luster means shining property. So that is in the here. Metals in their pure state, metal is in their pure state have shining surface. This property is called as the metallic luster. So here comes here first 1 mark definition. What is that? What is a metallic luster? Means metals in their pure state have a shining surface. Metal in their pure state having a shining surface. This property is called as the metallic luster. First point, what is metallic luster means? You can write metals in the pure state having shining surface. This property is called as the metallic luster. Otherwise they will ask like that, so why metals having shining surface, or why? Due to the lustrous property, due to the luster property of metals having a shining surface. This is simple answer. Next, activity 3.2. Take a small piece of iron, aluminium and magnesium. Try to cut these metals with a sharp knife and note your observations. Again, what is the second activity 3.2? Again, we have to take some elements like iron, copper, aluminium and magnesium. We have to try to cut with a sharp knife. We have to observe whether that elements cut with knife or they does not cut with the knife. That I have to observe here. Hold a piece of sodium metal with a pair of tongues. Auction. Always handle sodium metal with the care. Dry it by pressing between the folds of filter paper. So while handling the sodium, you have to clean with sandpaper by a sodium, because sodium is highly reactive towards the oxygen. So that highly reactive towards oxygen. So that should be prevented by, that should be cleaned, or that moisture should be removed from the sodium. That is why it should be folded with the filter paper. Put on a watch glass and try to cut with a knife. What do you observe? Again, I have to cut these elements like sodium, potassium, aluminium, magnesium. You have to cut with, you are trying to cut with knife. They will cut or they will not cut with the knife. You have to observe here. So what we will found, or what we will observe, that we will found that metals are generally hard. The hardness varies from metal to metal, but we are taking all elements and the metals are generally very hard materials, and that hardness varies from one metal to the another metal. We cannot say that all elements having a common hardness. Common hardness means 100% hardness, but some metals having 90% means other metal having 95, other elements having 98. So simple example. So all elements having different hardness, like human beings. All human beings are unique in nature, so they do not having same property. Like that only all metals having a hardness, but some soft is there, some hard is there, means some completely different from each other. So all elements having different types of hardness in nature. Second point, what is second point? So metals are harder in nature. Next, first point comes metallic luster. Second property, metals are harder in nature. Third activity 3.3. Take a piece of iron, zinc, lead, copper. We have taken again 4 type of elements: iron, zinc, lead and copper. Place any one metal on block of iron and strike it 4 or 5 times with hammer. What do you observe? Repeat with other metals. Record the change in the shape of these metals. So again, you have to take a different kinds of metal like copper, iron, lead and zinc, and you have to hammer it. So that will changes their position. There is changes in the shape, means you have to changes or not, that you have to observe here. So after hitting these elements, so they will change their shape or will not, we have to observe. So after that, hitting that elements, they will change their shape. So this changing their shape property is called as the malleability. you will find that some metals can be beaten into thin sheets. This property is called as the malleability. So again, second definitions, first metallic cluster, after that what is malleability. So some metals beaten into, what is the answer here? What is malleability means? You can write some metals can be beaten into thin sheets. Some metals can be beaten into thin sheets. This property is called as the malleability. These are very important for 1 mark questions. So either it is comes in the form of MCQ as well as the 1 mark definition. So some metals can be beaten into thin sheets. This property is called as the malleability. Do you know that gold and silver are the most malleable metals? So what are the most malleable elements? Gold and silver are the most malleable elements. First question, what is malleability means? You can write some metals can be beaten into thin sheets are called as the malleability. Examples of malleability, gold and silver are the most malleable elements. This is the second definition. What is malleability? Next, activity 3.4, list the metals whose wires you have seen in day-to-day life. So we have seen in our day-to-day life, that is copper wire is used as the conduction of electricity. That is the major wire. We have used in domestic purpose as well as the in normal household purpose. Here, the ability of a metal drawn into thin wires. The ability of a metals to be drawn into thin wires is called as the ductility. So, what is the malleability means? The metals are drawn into thin sheets are called as the malleability. The ability of metals are drawn into thin wires is called as the ductility. And the most malleable elements are called as the gold and silver. Here also most ductile element is called as the gold. Gold is the most ductile element. Again, so 1 gram of gold can be stretched up to 2 kilometer. Very important. One more question. So in MCQ comes, so which elements can be spread up to 2 kilometer in the form of wire? Means we can write gold because of the ductility property. So why you are stretching the gold like up to 2 kilometer distance? Means because of they having a ductility property. Remember that it is because their malleability and ductility that metals can be given different shapes according to our needs. That is why gold and silver are using for ornamental purpose, because they having most ductility and malleability property. So we are having different types of size and shapes. So we are having earrings, rings, and different types of ornament, jewelries, by the help of which two property, ductility and malleability property. These two property will give the different types of size and designs of that gold and silver. Due to that, these two property only, ductility and malleability property only. And 1 gram gold can up to spread 2 kilometer distance. That is due to that ductility and malleability. What is that? Gold can be spread up to 2 kilometer. Can you name some metals that are used to making a cooking vessels? Do you know why these metals are used for making vessels? Let us do the following activity to find out the answer. So we already know that some metals are used for the ornamental purpose, some metals are used for the construction purpose, and some metals are used for the construction purpose, some metals are used for the cooking. So why these metals are used for cooking purpose only? So that is the next here. Why these metals are used for the cooking purpose only? So why not are using other type of metals? So that is we have to discuss here. Activity 3.3. Sorry. Take an aluminium or a copper wire, clamp this wire. So this is the this you have to clamp here. This is the end here. On a sand as shown in figure 31, you have to clamp the copper wire like shown in the figure 3.1. Fix a pin to the free end of the wire using wax. You have to pin the wax here. You have to pin wax. You have to pin the wax at the end of the free end of the that wire. Heat the wire with the spirit lamp. You have to heat this wire with a spirit lamp. This is called as the spirit lamp. Candle or a burner near the place where it clamped. So you have to metal where clamped or a place that you have to heat with a spirit lamp, a candle or a burner. What you have observed after some time, heating that copper wire or some different type of aluminum wire. So that you have to study here. Note your observation, does it melt or melted? So that metals, what you have taken, aluminum, copper, that magnesium, so that metal melted or not melted, so that you have to observe here. The above activity shows that metals are a good conductor of heat, have high melting point. From this activity we conclude that metals are a good conductor of heat. Good conductor of heat means the heat can travel from one end to the another end. So that is the good conductor of heat, will conducts the heat, and they having high melting points means it does not melt easily. We want to melt the metals means you have to give more heat or a more higher temperature, that means it will melt, otherwise it cannot melt. So this is the good conductor of heats and high melting points. The best conductor of heat are silver and copper. Remember that. One more question comes here. Write the examples of best conductor of heat means you can write silver and copper. Silver and copper are the best conductor, and lead and mercury are the comparatively poor conductor of heat. So what is here? Two question comes here. Best conductor of heat and poor conductor of heat. Poor conductor of heat, lead and mercury, and best conductor of heat, silver and copper. These are the two important questions. So best conductor of heat, silver and copper. Poor conductor of heat, what is that? Lead and mercury. Remember that. Do metals also conduct electricity? Let us find out. We know that the metals are good conductor of heat, but they also conduct the electricity. Now we have to study in the next activity. So metals are good conductor of heat, we already know that, but they also conduct the electricity, means that should be concluded by this activity 3.6. So activity 3.6, set up a electric circuit. This is called as the electric circuit. So as shown in figure 3.2, place the metal to be tested in the circuit between terminal A and terminal B. This is called as the terminal A, this is called as the terminal B. How to place any metal in this position? So one end is connected A and another end is connected B of a metal, and you have to test whether it will conduct the electricity or not. It conduct the electricity means it is called as the good conductor of electricity. It will not conduct means we can say that simple, it is a bad conductor of electricity. So does the bulb glow? What does this indicate? So here in the case of bulb glow, that we can say that metal is a good conductor of electricity. If the metal does not conduct the electricity means that the bulb does not glow here. This is the here. You must have seen that wires that are carry current in your homes have a coating of polyvinyl. So question arises here, why copper wires are coated with the polyvinyl chloride or rubber, means so that rubber or a polyvinyl chloride, or we can call that as the PVC. Here the wires are coated with the polyvinyl chloride because the polyvinyl chloride are a bad conductor of electricity, and it does not allow the electricity pass through it, and it does not allow the pass through it, and it will makes the prevention of short circuits. That is why we are using the coating of polyvinyl chloride on a wire. So here question arises here, why PVC is coated on a wire? So why PVC PVC means polyvinyl chloride are coated on a wires means you can write PVC are a bad conductor of electricity. It does not allow the electric current pass through it. So and it will prevent short circuit, and that is why you are coating a polyvinyl chloride or a rubber like material on a wire. This is simple question, and for that answer, why are electric wires are coated with a such a substance? That is the answer here. So why are coated as such a substance means these are the bad conductor of electricity and it does not allow the electric current to pass through it, and it will prevent from the short circuits. That is why we are using the polyvinyl chloride coatings of wire in our home. What happens when metals strike a hard surface? So next, what happens when metals are hit with hard and surface? Do they produce sound? When we hit the metal with strong force or a strong punch, that time it will produce punch means you cannot hit with your hand. Punch means you have to hit metal with other metal with another metal, so that you hit with your palm or you hit with your palm or hit with your fist means your fist will broken down. So don't hit with your fist. So hitting means you have to hit with any metal so that produces sound or not, we have to observe here. The metals that produce a sound on striking a hard surface. So the metal that produce a sound on striking a hard surface are said to be sonorous. So what is sonorous? Again one more question. So what is sonorous means a metal is a metal that produces a sound on striking a hard surface. Metal produces a sound on striking a hard surface. This property is called as the sonorous. That is why in our schools or colleges we are having the bells. When the peon that strongly hit the on the bell, so that will produces the sound. So because of that having the sonorous property. So these are the some basic physical properties of that element on the basis of their physical property. So what are the physical properties of elements means you can write. First one is the first metallic luster, second good conductor of heat and good conductor of electricity. The fourth point, they are the good conductor and good conductor of electricity as well as the good conductor of heat, and they having malleability and ductility. And fifth one is the sonorous. These are the 5 properties of metals on their physical property. What are the physical properties of metals? They are metallic luster and malleability, ductility and good conductor of heat and electricity, and fifth one is the sonorous. These are the 5 basic properties of metal on their physical properties. And one more questions comes here. So what is a metallic luster means the metals in their pure state having shining surface is called as the metallic luster. And what is the next malleability? The metals are drawn into thin sheets is called as the malleability. Examples of malleability, gold and silver. What is the ductility? The metals are drawn into thin wires are called as the ductility. Examples, gold up to 2 kilometer distance drawn by 1 gram of gold. That is the second point. And what is the poor conductor of heat? Lead and mercury are called as the poor conductor of heat. And what is a good conductor of heat? Silver and copper. And next, metals are good conductor of heat and metals also good conductor of electricity. So that is the simple activities done by that activity 3.2 or sorry. Next, again, why electric wires are coated with rubber or a PVC lines means, so due to that there are non-conduction of electricity does not allow the electric current pass through it, so it will prevent from the short circuit. That is, we are using the polyvinyl chloride coating wires. Again, what is sonorous means the metal that produces sound on hitting hard surface is called as the sonorous. These are the all 5 basic properties. So again here this activity what explains here means when these metals are placed in it means so that bulb glows here. Metals are placed in a terminal A and B means so that will glows the electric bulb. So by the switch button, switch pin on and off, that will makes the electric charges moves through the A terminal and goes to the B terminal and the bulb will glow here. This is called as the conduction of electricity. So these are the some basic properties of metals on their physical properties. Next we will conclude what is the non-metals and what are their properties in the next class. So thank you for watching and share and subscribe my channel.